Hello, everyone. This is Evan from Blaziken TCG, and welcome to my Toronto Regional Championship Tournament report where I played Gardevoir EX. I really need to get better about making these tournament reports quicker because the tournament was already 2 weeks ago, and I don't know, I just haven't gotten around to making the tournament report, and I feel like every tournament I just wait too long to put out the video, but I still just wanted to give a recap about this regional, tell you guys how it went. As you guys can see, I didn't do well, but yeah, I decided to play Gardevoir. Here's the list I played. I played the Flutter Devo build because I had put in a lot of practice with this build before the tournament, and um, yeah, like a month or two before, I thought the Flutter Devo build would be the way to play the deck because the heavy Charm Drifloon build that I played to Vegas, I didn't think was as good this format. So I just wanted to play the Flutter Devo builds. So I put a lot of time into learning the deck. I won 3 League Cups with it uh, in the weeks before Toronto, but as the tournament got closer, I kind of realized that this deck maybe wasn't going to be the best play for the tournament. And I I figured that playing the Charm build with the Luxcape that Henry Chow played, or just switching to the Jelly build would be a better choice for the tournament, but I don't know. I thought I would be better off playing this build, which I think had a slightly worse matchup spread overall, just because I knew the matchups very well with this build. But I kind of regret that because I think it was kind of like sunk cost fallacy. Um, I wanted to just play this deck because I had already invested so much time with it, and I thought that I would not be able to learn the lines for a new build of Gardevoir with just like a week or two left. So that's on me. I need to get better about making these types of meta calls. But yeah, here's the list I played. Anyways, let's get into the matchups. As you guys can see, very rough tournament. I started 3-0 and then lost 3 in a row, which was the first time that that happened to me. And honestly, it was pretty heartbreaking having that happen because like I actually put like a lot of time into practicing for this tournament, and I got top 64 at Toronto last year, so I kind of wanted to follow it up with a better tournament this year. But you live and learn. I made a mistake with my deck choice, and I guess that I paid the price for that. But going into the matchups, round one, I hit a Jellicent Dragapult. Game one, I was able to get slightly ahead on the price trade, but my opponent was still able to I actually had to confuse the Jellicent at some point, and then my opponent was able to flip a heads on the first confusion flip, and then the second one he flipped tails. If he flipped heads on the second one, I think I probably would have lost anyways. But yeah, I just needed my opponent to flip tails on one of the two flips, and luckily it happened. Game two did not conclude, so I ended up winning the first one. Um, Round two, I hit a Goldengo, and this list actually did not play Picnic Basket um, or TM Evo, which was pretty good for me because those cards make the matchup a lot closer, I would say. But game one, I was able to item lock enough with the Frillish and eventually just Devo everything. My opponent couldn't find Lana in time, so he whiffed an attack for several turns in a row. And then game two also just did not conclude. So starting 2-0 at this point, round three, I hit a Gardevoir. This is the Drifloon Charm build, but with like the Diancie and all of that. Um, so yeah, game one, I prized my Screamtail, so I had to start just taking knockouts with Gardevoir. Luckily, my opponent whiffed getting a Gardevoir down for the first several turns, so I got 2 prizes ahead, and I was able to just keep attacking with Gardevoir for pretty much the whole game. And Screamtail was like one of my last 2 prizes. Um, but I did win a very, very close one, despite getting super far ahead, since I just couldn't draw the Screamtail off the prize cards. Um, it made the prize mapping a lot more awkward, but luckily I was able to win that one. And then game two, my opponent fully bricked. It was like Clefairy, attach, pass, and then I think he like maybe benched something and then passed the next turn. and then I was just able to like fully set up, and my opponent scooped because he had a completely dead hand at this point. So 3-0 at this point. Um, Feeling pretty good until I see round four pairings go up, and I hit Liam Halliburton playing Enzorwork, which obviously Enzorwork is probably like one of the worst matchups I would say for my build. Um, that I played to Toronto. This is probably one of the worst matchups, and also Liam is like one of the best Zoroark players in the game. So game one, um I was kind of able to prize trade a little bit, but I um I kind of just didn't really draw what I needed in the start of the game. I also made like a slight misplay as well, I think, where I promoted Gardevoir and I only had like one psychic in the discard. And I wasn't able to find another energy to retreat the Gardevoir, so that kind of just lost me the game on the spot. Even if I hadn't have done that, I think I would have had realistically a very low chance of winning that game, but at least a chance, at least like somewhat of a chance. And after the match, Liam actually told me he thinks that was the correct play promoting the Gardevoir, but it was just unfortunate to not find another energy because I don't think it was possible or like very unlikely I could get another monkey in play, and I didn't even really need another monkey at that point. So as long as I could just find like a psychic to attach to the Gardevoir and retreat, that would be pretty good. But yeah, Liam said he thinks that was actually a pretty good play, but you know, um, yeah, I just didn't find it. And then game two, it came down to I Ionoed him and Devoed, and then he found Fez off of the Iono and like Fezed into everything he needed. I think he found like Energy Boss off the Fez. Otherwise, I maybe could have won. It would have been still a kind of bad position for me, but I could have maybe done something with that. Because he had the Turo as well, so if he didn't find Turo, then I could have just attacked the next turn for game. If he didn't find Turo or the Boss Energy for game, but he at the very least had the Turo, so I maybe could have done something, but I also would have had to hope that he didn't find what he needed off the Fez the next turn. Um, so yeah. Anyways, round five, I hit a Dragapult, and this is one of those games. To be completely honest, I don't think there was really much of anything I could have done this game. I think I just got like super unlucky. I hate to say it, but I think like I really don't think there was much I could have done this game. So game one, I opened a pretty bad hand, but at least I had like Ultra Ball and cards that I could thin to draw with Mew. And I play the Ultra Ball, start searching, and I quickly realized that Mew is prized. So I had to just get like a Routes or something. And then I pretty much just like fully bricked the entire game under item lock because like my Mew was prized. I literally never drew a supporter, so my opponent was just able to set up and just board wipe the Dusclops and Dragapult. So very unfortunate. Game one or game two, sorry, I set up fully and I was able to win because in this matchup, obviously, if you set up, you pretty much always win. Um, they're mostly going to win by attacking with Vadu to basically just lock you out of the game and then just board wipe by popping a bunch of Dusclops and Dusknoirs and then using the Dragbolt. But yeah, um I set up game two and won, and then game three I also just did not set up, and I just got board wiped. Yeah, I started Clefairy and attached fast, and then the next turn he Vadooed. I attached to Clefairy and play Lilies, and I whiff all outs to a Routes, and I just have to attack with the Clefairy. Um, and then the next turn I might have whiffed Routes again the next turn to be honest, and I think by that point it was just too late. So unfortunate. I lost to Dragapult Dusknoir, which I mean I think this matchup is pretty decent for me, but yeah. So I'm 3-2 at this point. Usually at 3-2 you'll hit like just an okay player or something, but no, of course not. I hit Brandon Salazar, who got top 8 at the Milwaukee, so obviously a very very talented player getting top 8 at that regional championship. Playing Grimmsnarl, which is already a matchup that I don't think this matchup's actually that bad, to be honest. I think the matchup was maybe slightly favored for me, but unfortunately, game one, I couldn't really set up a Devo because like Like he pretty much found boss and whatever he needed at any given point in the game, and I Iono'd him, confused his one Grimmsnarl, and of course he found Candy plus the other Grimmsnarl off the Iono to just negate the confusion entirely. So I couldn't win game one. I just never set up the Devo play, and pretty much the same thing for game two. Like game two, I also kind of just bricked, and yeah, I don't know, I just didn't really set up that well, but kind of unfortunate here. Um, so I lost to the Grimmsnarl, which I don't know. I think the match was like fine for me, but yeah, it just didn't really work out, I guess. So 3-3 at this point. I'm kind of sad by this point in the tournament because like going from 3-0 to 3-3, like I can't even make day two anymore, and I pretty much just like I don't know. I just like flopped another tournament, which was unfortunate, but you know it happens. Um, the next round I hit. This guy actually was a no-show, but he was playing Golden Go, it looks like. But I guess he was also just having a rough tournament or something, going 3-3 and then just leaving. But he was a no-show. So 4-3 at this point. Then the next round was a Jelly Guardy, and I just won this one. Wasn't really, you know, that concerned because like at this point I'm out of day two anyways. So it's kind of just, um, yeah. So it's just whatever. But I am now 5-3, finishing 5-3, top 512 at the regional. So definitely not great, but I still have a lot to learn. I think I'm just gonna have to lock in for the next regional. And yeah. Anyways, I will. Uh, I thank you all for watching this video, and make sure to like and subscribe. Join my Discord as well, which will be in the description, as well as my Metafy group. And I will see you guys in the next one.